You know, I remember there was a time when we would always do our podcasts. We'd always follow up with them. And, it was a good thing. Wait a minute. We're back! Ladies and gentlemen, this is not another wrestling podcast. We're back. We're super shiny. Things are beautiful. I am Jay. This is Connor.
Shiny.
Look
Hi guys,
at the
I'm back.
shinies. We are
Shiny.
back, and
Pretty.
I just want to say real quick, we are sorry for missing out on our, I believe it was Battleground follow-up, because life got in the way. Unfortunately for the both of us, that kind of became a thing. So we are back. We are doing a double header. We are doing a double bill of NXT Takeover Brooklyn,
3.
and we are going to be doing SummerSlam as soon as this one's done. So let us get on with the important stuff. We are going to start getting ourselves to our important conversations in just 1 second. But,
Well, guys, haven't you forgot someone?
Wait.
Who's damn. Oh, damn. Ladies and gentlemen,
Uh-oh.
we got a third voice on things. Would you, sir, like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Eden's Warrior, and I am new to this channel, so
He
I will be new to this
is
podcast.
he is the new voice of
He is the virgin of the group.
He's the new voice of the Scottish voiceless, I guess we could call him. He is brand spanking new to podcasting. He is brand spanking new to the Not Another Wrestling podcast. We'll hopefully have him on regular. We don't know the plans yet, but this is it. This is the first time. So, guys, NXT Takeover Brooklyn.
3.
Before we go on to the
You gotta
matches,
remember the 3, Jay.
we will
You gotta
remember the
the
three. Always remember the three. But NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. There we go. It's a freaking mouthful, but there we go. So we want to quickly touch on what we missed out before. So if you guys caught us on Twitter when we was doing our Jay versus Connor on the last one, I am the Not Another Wrestling Podcast champion. Oh yes, suck it, Connor. I won.
For now.
For now, he says. But I will be defending that championship in a 3-way tonight on these podcasts. The way this one is going to go is I'm going to be defending against both Connor and Eden. So this could come out in a weird way, but we are going to tally the points of Takeover and SummerSlam, and we're going to do one great big roundup podcast for both events. So strap in for when that one happens. So, boys, our first match of Takeover Brooklyn 3. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. Our Tag Team Championship match. The Authors of Pain versus Sanity. Now,
Yes.
Wow. So, Eden, you caught the most recent episode of NXT.
Yes, I did.
What do we have to look forward to on this one?
But what I've seen, there was a lot of kerfuffle in the actual episode. Between the two, they were kind of fighting someone else, and then this other group came through. And I don't know the other name of the group, but it looks like it's going to be a good match.
I mean,
they're rather big. They're really big characters, so hopefully that they're going to be a good match.
I won't lie. I'm liking A.O.P. at the minute. Like, I always thought they were one of those, oh, look at this, with big meat heads, big body.
To me, they're basically mini Roman Reigns, just tag.
They're basically Roman Reigns, but without the... No, I think they're like...
I say they're more like Braun Strowman.
Yeah, they're the bodies. They're basically the bodies again. They're the big guys that, I mean, we all know that Vince loves, but obviously Triple H is in control of NXT, which is a brilliant thing. I had a brilliant idea of what could happen if A.O.P. lose, but what with everything that's happened on Raw recently, that can't happen anymore, but it would still be good. Might touch on that one later, don't know. But I'm loving that Sanity is in a championship match already, especially Killian Dane, who, if anyone remembers from WCPW, he was Big Damo. I mean, he's...
Big Damo, if I'm right, was he not in the UK Championship?
I do not remember, but he's definitely coming further. Speaking of the UK Championship, before we get any further into this, and I don't know if you guys agree on this one, but I'm a little disappointed that we don't have a UK Championship match.
Yeah,
I know
I'd
Pete
agree.
Dunne's injured.
Yeah, it's kind of sad considering they just brought over people from the UK.
Exactly.
go fight.
Like, Progress was in the US recently. They were in like doing what was it, New York, Boston.
Mhm.
We know that Pete Dunne, the WWE UK champion, is injured at the moment. But even if you had Trent Seven, maybe Tyler Bate, a couple of the others, British Strong Style or Mustache Mountain
Mhm.
going against someone, bring over some of the UK competitors, it would be good. Because so far that championship's been defended like what, once, and
Twice, I think.
yeah, once or twice, and so far nothing. It's that
Not a
it's
thing.
it's just kind of like a, hey, look, we got jewelry that we can carry around. It's
Yeah, look at me. I have jewelry. Big whip.
yeah.
Hmm.
Still, anyway, back to the match that we're doing. What are we foreseeing here? Because
I will start with mine.
go for it.
I am going with Sanity on this one.
You're gonna go with Sani,
Simply because of who the leader is,
right?
of Eric Young. Eric Young. He will be the deciding factor. I just have that feeling, just because I think not only Officer Payne are brilliant tag team champions, don't get me wrong. However, I feel as though the time is about up now for it. And it's now Sanity's time to carry on. I can see Officer Payne not just before Survivor Series or after Survivor Series, possibly jumping up to the main roster.
See, I personally think you're wrong. From what I watched, after them getting jumped and one getting zip tied to the railing, I personally think Authority of Pain is going to be the victors of this one.
I gotta admit, that sounds like an even better of Authors of Pain. No, sorry, better version of Authors of Pain, Authority of Pain. That sounds even better. No, I gotta admit, I kind of want to go with Connor on this one of Sanity coming and getting it because they're doing a damn good job. And granted, they've got the numbers game. They've got Eric Young. They've got Nikki Cross. Everyone that's in there that's going to be good. I also want to try and defend my championship to my utmost at the same time here. And I almost want to say that A.O.P is going to retain because, I mean, they've got Paul Ellering. I mean, you cannot have a better manager at your side when you're a tag team. That guy knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. However, he's not alive anymore. Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji would be good as well. You're right. But, I mean, we're talking, like, from history, he has had a good tag team championship run.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I am going to sit here and side with the A.O.P retaining on this one. Simply for the fact that as Eden was saying, they've definitely come off of this last week or last couple of weeks with quite a bit of momentum, especially with what Sanity did to him and how they recovered.
Yeah.
Although,
I think there's going to be a lot of hatred going into it. So
yeah,
that's why I think OAP's got to retain the title.
The OAP? I didn't think they were that old. I want to say OAP is going to come out of it maybe by DQ. See, to your point, Connor, you know how you're saying Eric Young could be a factor. I'm almost seeing it be a DQ win for AOP because EY gets involved. And the ref catches it, and that's what happens. What are we thinking?
So therefore, I'd still win the point there if that happens.
You'd win the point, yes, because they'd win.
But they would retain.
But technically, AOP would... Well, no, if AOP wins by DQ, then we get the point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, I'm thinking...
Because you didn't put that in the stipulation that you'd still win if they got disqualified.
Exactly. I'm thinking that AOP is going to win due to someone like EY getting involved and getting called. So I'm definitely going AOP on this one because I can see that being a big thing.
Same here.
I'm sticking with Sanity.
You're sticking with Sanity?
Also, Eden, you traitor. Sanity's got Scottish people in it, you douche.
No, so you've got to go for the bigger people, you know? You can't just go...
You can't get bigger than Big Damo, man.
I mean...
You never seen the episode, so I personally think you're wrong on this one.
So let's get clarity. AOP for me. Who are we doing, boys? Just let's get
Sanity.
this. You're definitely
Yeah,
Sanity.
Sanity for myself.
You're definitely going Sanity, and Eden is definitely going for A.O.P. This will be an interesting one. I will not lie. Now, shall we call this next match a bit of a throw together? I want to say it's
Yeah.
a little thing. It's kind of been thrown in there as a bit. I mean, I saw NXT from last week, not the one from the 15th, but sorry, would it be the 15th or the 16th? Basically, the Go Home show. I didn't get to see the Go Home show, but I got to see the one before that. This really felt like it was a thrown together match. You know, Gargano's going on about, oh, I'm past everything with Ciampa. I want NXT Takeover, blah blah blah. And then at the end of the show, Almas's manageress, whatever the hell her name is, I don't even know her because I saw her that one time. That's it. Oh, you want a match? You got it. Cool.
Yeah.
What do we think? Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling versus Andrade Cien Almas.
I think Johnny Gargano.
You're instantly going Johnny Wrestling?
Mm-hmm. I think he'll have that so much. He'll have fury behind him because of what's happened to him,
Yeah, I could quite believe that.
and the fact that.
But the thing is that going to is he going to be that annoyed of what happened to him? Do you think that's going to get into his head, and then he's going to end up messing up at some point? And then
I mean, I think
it?
it will be a good match, despite it being like a thrown together match and stuff, because they have good chemistry together. I think it'll be personally a really good match. However, I'm sticking with Johnny Wrestling on this one.
See, I'm a little torn on this one. I don't exactly know where to go with it. I'm letting you guys put good points out on this one so that I can come up with something here. Please.
So can you steal the points from us, yeah?
No, Eden, go put a case out there. Who are you thinking? What are we thinking on this one?
Oh, I've completely forgot the other person's name, but yeah, I personally think it's going to be the other person.
You think it's going to be Almas?
Yeah, because the other guy, he's just going to get it in his head that he's got to win it. He's going to get agitated of what happened to him in the past, and then it's got to be to the point where, like it's every other show, is they get too hyped up in their own game, their own thought process, and then that's got to be his own downfall. And then I can see him getting pinned because of going into the fight too angry instead of channeling that anger in the right positive way.
I can understand that actually. I mean, I'm thinking on this from Styles' perspective. Gargano's got like he's got the high flying if he wants it. He's got the submission wrestling if he wants it. He's got some pretty decent movesets in him. Same with Almas. Although you think about it, Gargano's been a tag wrestler for most, if not all, of his NXT career so far. So you're right. It's almost a case of, can he do singles wrestling at the moment? Can he do the whole, or will WWE put him out there as the singles wrestler that can, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sort of seeing Almas with a bit of a heel push going. Again, I've been out of the loop with NXT for a little while, unfortunately. I've not been around as much as I used to when it came to NXT. I kind of want to say Almas on this one, just because, it's looking like they're trying to do something with him after like a stifled run a year ago, because he debuted a year ago against Bobby Roode, I believe. I think it was last year at Brooklyn. So I'm wanting to sort of see something come of what they're doing with him. I'm gonna probably go with CN on this one, just to kind of see if they pull something out. I'm almost expecting a run-in, maybe with Ciampa, possibly, if he's not still injured. It's just a,
because he's so angry of what happened to him, so he's gonna kind of run in mid fight kind of thing.
Yeah, you almost have we're halfway through the match. Sorry, we're done. We don't have to worry anymore. I'm past it. I don't want to, I'm concentrating on me and singles. And then oh, it's not over. Boom, blindsides, something like that. You know, I'm
Yeah, it
thinking
kind
the
of
old
comes out
school.
from the crowd.
Exactly, like he comes through the crowd, costs him the match, something like that. We've got a rivalry on
Yeah.
our hands again, something like that, because it kind of didn't
Yeah.
really get to do much from it. Connor, you are awfully quiet on this one. What are we thinking?
I'm letting you to speech.
Are you just stuck with your opinion on this one? You're like, nope, Gargano's winning. I don't care. I don't want to say
Gargano,
anything.
yep, I'm sticking with Gargano. I'm going with the underdog. I've always been that way throughout
Yeah, 'cause,
every
well,
single podcast. I've been one.
It's like you've seen with an underdog in the past in any of the shows, they generally seem to do a lot better than what the actual fighters do. So I can kind of see the underdog doing good on this one.
I'm seeing this as being one of those sleeper matches. It's going to be a flip of the coin. Whoever wins, it's sort of like a last minute. Yeah, let's do a thing. We need a couple of more matches because we need to fill in a little bit of time because of this. These are the guys that came before, little montagey stuff that they're probably going to be doing throughout the night of, the Sasha Bankses, the Sami Zayns, the Kevin Owens and everything. So they're probably
And
just
then
throwing
one of
this
them will
in
get
as a filler.
distracted because he came down, and then it's got to be a case of like, oh, I want to fight you now, kind of thing.
Yeah,
What I personally can see happening.
I'm sort of just seeing like if it's not a clean win for Almas, maybe maybe Ciampa comes in, runs some form of interference, and Almas wins. I'm gonna go with Almas just because I want to see how this one plays out. I want to see if they've got a story behind it or if it's just a throwaway kind of thing. So
See, you could be right there.
I see. I don't know where to go on this one. I'm sticking with Almas. I'm gonna stick with Almas because it's just what we need on that one. I think that's how this one's going. So Connor is officially on Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd go wrong with that one, Connor, to be honest.
So you're going for Almas as well?
Yeah.
There we go. It's so far it's 2-1. Like it's almost like a handicap match for Connor right now because it's.
I'm being bullied here, guys. That's terrible.
I was like, you know what's gonna have to happen here, Eden? We are gonna have to go opposites at some point. Otherwise, you're not gonna win the championship.
However, SummerSlam, remember?
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
I think SummerSlam will be the game changer.
If we tie this one,
NXT will set the record, but SummerSlam will make or break everything.
Exactly.
I may get some points on the NXT, but I could possibly put it back at SummerSlam. You just never know, mate. I'm like the underdog of this.
He's like the Sami Zayn. He's like the Sami Zayn.
He just stole my line. You just stole my line, boy.
Well, just so you know, guys, the championship cannot change hands on a draw, and it cannot change hands unless you actually beat me in total points. That's all we're doing. We're doing full-on 1-2-3 pinfall style. Cannot win on a count-out, DQ, or draw of points. I will retain if someone draws with me. Just saying.
Has to be clean.
Yeah, you have to have a clean
point
or
more. If
it's a draw,
disqualification.
If it's a draw,
how about
we settle this? If it's a draw, we settle this live stream style. On one game, you both have, and you settle it, and we settle it that way. On a draw.
Maybe. We'll think of that. I think
we'll think about it.
I think at the moment we'll go for the if it's a draw, champion retains, as it normally would be. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll go with that one down the line. We're making things up as we go on the spot. That's how good we are.
In case you hadn't realised yet.
Okay, so let's go on to what's going to be one of my personal favourites of the night. I'm calling winner straight away here. But ladies and gentlemen, up next, it's your Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Ember Moon. I'm calling Asuka because I have a feeling she's going to win. Well, I want her to win and keep this championship as long as possible, but...
she has set a new record.
But
the longest title
exactly.
Reign.
She's still holding the longest...
Goldberg, she's bet everyone's...
she has beaten everyone on this.
But what you've got to remember, title reigns don't last forever. So I possibly think it's going to be Ember Moon's chance to go up to the title and get that title.
I'm seeing this going along the lines of she's going to hold it till the Mae Young Classic ends. This is my thinking here because there's another Japanese female star in there, correct? Cannot remember her name for the life of me. I'm thinking that maybe Asuka wins it at NXT, like at Takeover. Excuse me, voice break or what? Um, Carries it for as long as it takes for the Mae Young Classic to be done. Then maybe they go, okay, winner of the Mae Young Classic as well as getting a beautiful little trophy thing, whatever, goes to NXT and challenges for the NXT Women's Championship. The young Japanese lady wins the Mae Young Classic, challenges Asuka at, like, say, the takeover before WrestleMania or, before Survivor Series. So one of the big takeovers, boom, breaks the reign of Asuka. Asuka debuts on the main roster a little while later. I think she's holding this title till she goes to the main roster, if not takes it with her on the main roster, because she's been appearing on a lot of main roster house shows over the past couple of months, which is usually, if I remember correctly, it's usually their way of going, is this person ready for the main roster? And I would love to see her go to the main roster with that title, still undefeated, and get the women's championship as well, but I don't see it happening.
But what I've seen, I just don't know. Sometimes you can normally tell when they're doing their entrance. It's just Asuka's one just seemed a bit relaxed when she was walking down. It just seemed like, I'm the champ. I'm going to win. I'm going to do this.
Well, she's got cocky, hasn't she?
She, to be honest, but Ember Moon walked down that and with a strut like you would never believe. So that's my money's with her.
Thing is, though, if you think about it, Ember Moon has lost before. Like, she's lost her opportunity at the championship before.
See,
She could have learned from that, though.
She could have.
From her mistake.
It's a good thought.
I am inclined to agree with Eden on this one.
Ooh.
And here's my reason why. Asuka's got to the point where she's so cautious she's not even caring who she's getting a chance with, because she's thinking, oh, I'm going to win this, no problem. And exactly. I'm thinking Ember Moon causes the upset. Then on the next takeover, Asuka then loses again, heads up to the main roster, and the winner of the Mae Young Classic faces Ember Moon. It can be anyone. Because obviously having Asuka up there will show, I think it'll, because you don't necessarily need the Japanese women from the Mae Young Classic to keep that title. Because I think they've shown with Asuka and NXT, stuff like that, that women from Japan and men with Shinsuke Nakamura, they can do it and they will get the shots in WWE. I think it's about time they change the champion and give someone else that shot and have.
So my reasoning behind it is, I think, if I recall correctly, is that her and Asuka actually had a rivalry over in Japan. I think they had a rivalry over in Japan.
SmackDown. She's going to go to SmackDown. That's what I personally think.
I'd much rather see her on SmackDown, to be honest.
Losing and then going to the main roster because she's like been defeated. So she's like, okay, I've done my time in NXT. Maybe it's time for me to hit the main roster.
See, I would love to see Asuka retain, mostly for the fact that, I won't lie, she's fucking badass. I mean, I can see, the whole, Ember's lost before, learned from her mistakes. I'm coming back. I'm doing it again. I've got a second chance. Okay, I am going to do it this time. I'm going to win the title. I'm going to be women's champion. I'm going to break the reign of the Empress, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because Asuka's getting cocky and she's getting sloppy and she's like, I can see that happening. I can see them saying, right, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have Asuka lose because she's getting too cocky and confident, and we need to make her lose so that we can bring her up to the main roster. I hope they don't do that, just because having her come to the main roster as NXT Women's Champion, almost do with her what they did with Paige. Bring her up as champion, give her the title.
They've done it with Paige, Sasha Banks. They've also done it with Kevin Owens.
Exactly. Bring her up to the main roster with the title.
Change the way. That's why I stuck with what I've said.
But I'm thinking when they do it, they don't make her lose the championship at NXT. You want to make her look dominant. You bring her to the main roster with the championship with that undefeated streak. She goes against, I don't know, Naomi or Alexa Bliss, whoever comes out as champions on either brand at that point, and go, right, you think you're so good with that title? You are in a new class of competition now, girl. You put that belt on the line. I'll put mine on the line. Whoever wins, wins. So we have champion versus champion at one of the next big pay-per-views. Asuka wins, keeps going, and then eventually Asuka just goes, you know what? I don't need this NXT championship. I'm the woman's champion on Raw or SmackDown. Take it. And she like throws the belt at someone or in the trash, or she just drops the title in the ring, walks off with her new women's championship. Bitch, please, I'm done. Stays undefeated, because I think having that long undefeated streak is really good for her at the moment.
See, that's where I kind of think they're going to take it. Because if you think about it, if she ends up losing, then that's kind of going to get into her head, and then she's got to hit that main roster thinking, "Oh, can I do it? Can I be this? Can I be that person that they want me to be?" And then turns out that she can't, and because she's lost NXT, it got into her head that she's a loser and all this stuff. So you do make a valid point, Jay, but I'm still going to stick with Ember Moon. I've still got to pick my homegirl, Ember Moon.
I respect Jay's opinion, however, I will elect to ignore it because it's getting to the point where it's pretty much a Goldberg situation with him being so undefeated for so long. It's getting boring.
Yeah.
We need a new challenge. We need someone new, fresh as the champion.
Exactly.
Austin needs a new challenge by coming up onto the main roster without the NXT title.
Yep.
And that's why I'm sticking with Ember Moon.
Good point.
I'll say this on the Goldberg situation. At least she can fucking wrestle. So,
True.
okay, scores on the doors, boys. The Scots are going for Ember Moon. I'm sticking with my girl, Asuka. I know who I'm rooting for. Guys, in the comment section below at this point, we are going to ask you, if you are making it this far, because I know you don't normally sit there and listen to these, please feel free, put your predictions down below. We are always welcome to have you guys get involved. If you think that I'm wrong on something, or you think that Connor's wrong on something.
Jay's mostly wrong on stuff.
Connor's wrong on
what?
everything. I mean, Connor's wrong on absolutely everything. If you guys want to leave us a comment, please feel free down in the bottom. Do the whole like, share, subscribe stuff and all that lot. Don't worry, we're not going to constantly sit there and say that. That's the only time in this podcast that we
even if you want to, you can even hit that little ding-dong bell and you get notifications for whenever Jay posts a video.
Exactly. And doing that will make you, hang on, what's the word for it? Glorious. Not a bad segue, but wrong match coming up next. So let's get on to the next one. Because we spent more than enough time on Ember Moon. I think that's the longest point that we spent on a match so far.
I think so.
Your next match, Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. What do we think here?
I've honestly not paid much interest in this.
So sleeper match for you?
Yeah, it literally feels like a sleeper match because I think Itami should be up on the main roster by now. However, entries have set him back. Now I'm hoping this is his go home match for NXT and then he moves up to the main roster because he deserves it. Exactly. In fact, no, he has proven his weight and he has earned it up to get up there.
But as they like to say on the main roster, he gets injured way too much. I just want to put that out there. That's probably what's stopping him, all the injuries. But please, feel free, carry on, guys.
See, that's the thing. You say about all these injuries and all that, but look at all the past wrestlers that have had injuries and they've came back and won titles. So my choice has got to be Itami.
That's an interesting little choice on that one, I won't lie. No, I mean, on the injuries front, the only thing that's making me say that is because we all know what Vince McMahon's like when it comes to superstars that have had a history of being injured at some point or another of their career. I mean, look at Wade Barrett. Every time he got a push, he got injured. Every time he got a championship, he got injured. Dolph Ziggler, every time he got a push, he got concussed or injured. It's one of those things that we know that the WWE main roster hates. If a superstar is reputable for being injured in some way or another, they don't normally do the good stuff with him. I mean, Itami's come back, 3 times now? This is his 3rd time in after injuries. Obviously, it's nice to see that they're pushing him in a different light. He's not the whole, hey, look at me, I'm the happy-go-lucky guy now because I've been injured a few times, but I'm back and I'm wrestling still, yay, kind of thing.
He's now got to the point where he's pissed off. He wants to get off this.
Exactly.
Actually, he's got to the point where he's pissed off and he wants off that roster onto the main roster.
They're basically doing the point of, you know what, I don't care about you anymore. I don't care about these fans. I've worked my way to NXT. I've worked my way through it. I shouldn't be here anymore. Everyone else is getting called up. Why can't I?
Yeah.
You do make a valid point there, but the thing is he going to use that as momentum to get to the main roster, or do you think it's going to play in his head that maybe there's a reason behind why they're not putting him forward to go to the main roster, and that it could possibly lead to maybe another injury, like you said?
Exactly.
And then he's stuck on NXT for a bit longer.
No, I agree entirely. Is it going to be is it going to be a self-induced mind game of, hey, look, I might get injured again, or am I really good enough to still be here, let alone be on the main roster? I mean, granted, this storyline's still new. I mean, last time I saw Aleister Black properly was, I think that match against Neville in the UK Championship. That's the last time I actually saw him wrestle. I know he's been on NXT since, but that's what I mean when I said I'm out of the loop. I remember he was pretty damn good. He's unique in his style. And if we're talking like styles clash, you know, you've got Itami's sort of strong style versus whatever the hell Black does. I don't exactly know what you could classify him as.
Yeah.
But see, I want to say Aleister's going to win this one just because he's new, he's fresher. They probably see more of an active future in him. Maybe they could push him to be the next challenger for the NXT champion. Whoever comes out of Takeover Brooklyn 3 for that. Hey, Connor, are you happy I mentioned number 3 in it this time?
Yes. Good Jay. Clever Jay.
You make a valid point there, but the thing is he going to have what it takes as a new person, kind of with a new style? Is he going to have enough of that new style to beat Itami? I personally don't think he will.
I can see it happening.
I could personally be wrong.
I can honestly see it happening, just for the fact of it's kind of what they're known for, bringing the new guys in and having them go over some of the older guys.
Yeah, to make a major upset.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, both men have been on a roll lately with what they've been doing, and yeah, it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be the actual sleeper match of the night. It's gonna be one of those ones that you're not really expecting a hell of a lot from it, but the styles are gonna clash to the point of it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna work out well.
Yeah.
And they're going to put a good match out no matter what. There's nothing really to take from it as such, but maybe it'll be like a whole, oh, Itami's won. He's going to be challenging, I don't know, let's say Drew Galloway. Sorry, McIntyre wins the NXT title. Itami goes against him and loses. I don't know, gets his ass kicked, as usual, whatever. Starts questioning himself even more, blah, 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 blah. Something like that. Or vice versa with Aleister Black. So where are we going here, boys? What's our thinking on this one?
I think that Aleister Black's got to try push it too far, and then he's got to do something wrong, and Itami's got to take the win. Point blank.
So I sense the
Point
Scott
set.
is pulling for Hideo Itami right here. What are we going for you, Connor?
I'm saying Black because the NXT has had a history of any new superstar taking on older superstars to push the new superstars.
See, I kind of want to agree
with
with
the
you.
whole mentality.
So I'm saying Black for
The
this
whole
one.
mentality of that the WWE's got to step in, give Black the win. But I just personally don't think that's going to happen.
See,
I think it's because, like you're saying, it's going to be the sleeper match, that it's going to be Itami. Like, they're going to leave it to them, and then it's got him. He's got to win it. That's what I personally think.
If I wasn't defending champion on this one, I would sit this match out just because I can't see a clear winner. Like, I can't sit there and go to you, Itami's winning. Just, that's it. I don't care. Itami's winning. I can't do that on this match. So I guess on a flip of the coin here, I'm going to say Itami's going to win, and then maybe some, shall we say, nefarious tactics used. Maybe he decides he wants to cheat to win. Play to the heel persona. That's what I'm seeing here. If Hideo can win by playing to the heel persona all of that good stuff. I'm gonna say something like that. So I'm gonna call Itami on this one. Just I can't.
Okay.
I really can't pull for this one.
Tommy for me, isn't it? See, you both do make valid points on this one.
But I think we've all just got the same thing here. We're not really interested in it, to be honest.
Not really.
It's one of those ones that it's the one that's not really been built fully, and you kind of not knowing. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to the glorious main event of the evening. It is the man who speaks for, well, practically every Scot out there, because he's the only real Scot on the roster at the moment. And can I say, Drew McIntyre / Galloway, whatever the hell you want to call him, he has got so much better since going on the Indies and in TNA and all that lot. Sorry, GFW, because TNA's dead. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Versus the glorious champion that is Bobby Roode. This NXT Championship match is one that I'm looking forward to since I heard about it. It is going to be one of those ones that we know is going to be done well, because both these men can fight. Both these men know what they're doing.
See, by what I've seen, Drew McIntyre had a fight in the NXT on, I think it was the 15th, and Bobby Rhodes came out and got the other fighter, well, got Drew McIntyre disqualified by hitting him, and then kind of pinned him in the corner and just started kicking into him. So I personally think Drew McIntyre is going to pull this one out and win the title, just due to what Rhodes did.
See, if you guys didn't pull Scott here, I was gonna start calling you out on your, your true Scottishness, as it were. So yeah, I was gonna say, seeing as how I missed NXT at that point, so you're saying that who was it he went against? It was. Oh Jesus, I completely forgot his name. He's one of the newer signees from. He was former Ring of Honor guy, wasn't he? It's not Chris Hero, because he's Cassius. Oh no. Oh my god, I cannot believe that his name has just gone from me. Anyway, that guy who wanted to be involved in the match. And basically Bobby Roode said, yeah, you can have the match after TakeOver. I can imagine the comments that will be coming through if people have made it to this point right now. Everyone's going to be screaming his name at me right now. And yes, I cannot remember. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please feel free to scream at me. I don't deserve to be champion if I can't.
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong. There we go. Thank you. Old Roddy. There we go. Roddy Strong.
So he won due to disqualification because Rhodes jumped in and started bashing the hell out of the Scottish guy. So
basically pulling
think,
the Scottish
guy. I think Drew McIntyre is going to come into that with a lot of hatred, a lot of beef with Rhodes. So I say it's going to be Drew McIntyre winning the NXT Championship.
So you're saying that the voice of Scotland is going over the Glorious One at TakeOver?
Of course.
And it's not just because you're Scottish?
No, not because I'm not Scottish. No, not because of that. Just because of what I saw on the 15th NXT.
You're actually going to go by what you've seen on the show. Okay, no, that's the best way. Go by what you've seen on the show. It was the Go Home show, obviously, so it's the best pit. Connor, fellow Scot to the Warrior, what do
Drew
you think?
McIntyre.
Just an instant pull for Mr. McIntyre, huh? Not even going to give us an explanation. Just
Reason why?
Drew McIntyre done.
As you said earlier, with what he's done on the Indies.
Yeah.
Ever since he left WWE originally, and he's now back, he has done an absolute ton, and he deserves this. Roode, don't get me wrong, he's been an amazing champion. He's won it since, obviously, Nakamura went up. However, I think it's now his time to go up.
Exactly.
I think it's a bit too soon to bring Roode up. He's been there just about a year. I know they normally pull him in after a year and a half, but I think it's just...
However, the reason why, I'll explain why I think he's coming up in the SummerSlam predictions.
Oh, so if you guys want to find that out, you may need to sit here and listen to another wrestling podcast, SummerSlam predictions. Oh yeah.
See, you make a good point there. Before that he got disqualified, Drew really was given Strong a fight until he got disqualified. So I personally think Drew has got what it takes to become the next NXT champion.
There's no denying that. I will completely and utterly agree with you on that one. Drew McIntyre, I need to get it into my head that he's back to being McIntyre. The chosen one, Drew McIntyre, that was complete and utter flop in his early days. 3MB, anybody?
Yep.
Now although, look at it. I was going to say, look, if you look at it, though, going by what WWE's doing right now, Heath Slater, 3MB leader, what happened? Tag champion. Jinder Mahal, the laughingstock, what happened? WWE champion. Third member of 3MB, what's going on right now? He's in a championship match. I'm not going by it on that one. I don't want to. I'm not going to say it's going to do it because all 3MB deserves it because of reasons. But no, Drew McIntyre has worked his damn ass off on the indie circuit, in TNA, on the UK circuit. Everywhere he has gone, that man has earned his spot. And if there's anyone that I want to see beat Bobby Roode, it's him, because he's earned his place. He's done what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He has fought and scratched and clawed and worked his way to the point of going from the whole, oh, look at me, I'm the chosen one of Vince McMahon, yada yada yada, yay, I'm my head's so up my own ass that I can't pull it out because it's so entrenched in there. I can tell you what I had for dinner 5 years ago, to being stuck with a really dumb gimmick of 3MB and they made it work. I won't lie, 3MB definitely made it work, but I would honestly say that if there's anyone to beat Bobby Roode, even if Bobby Roode doesn't get called up, just for the rivalry, it's going to be McIntyre. But I don't think Bobby Roode's at the stage of losing yet. I think he needs a little bit longer. Maybe take it to the Takeover before WrestleMania, lose that. Even if they debut him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal like they've done with, Killian Dane, which I forgot to mention. I mean, come on. Dane got the friggin' Battle Royal before, he got WrestleMania card before he even got a championship match. What does that tell you? They obviously see something in him there. If they don't have him come up at WrestleMania or just before WrestleMania and have Bobby Roode on the WrestleMania card against the likes of an AJ Styles or against Shinsuke Nakamura, cannot believe I got that name wrong, or maybe even against John Cena, because we all know that Cena likes to take on these guys. I'd love to see that happen. I know this is turning into a how things should go thing again, but I'm calling Bobby Roode walking out your current reigning, defending, and still glorious NXT champion. It's got to happen. If it doesn't,
you do make a valid point there, but the thing is, you've got to remember, you just never know the way it's going to get panned out and scripted. So
exactly, that's the best part.
It could be, oh, maybe they could think that, oh, maybe it's time for Rhodes to give up the NXT title and then go away for, like, say, a couple of months and then come back with this new glorious alter ego type of thing. Could happen. You just never know.
You never know with WWE, and you never know with NXT. I will agree on that one.
Exactly. It could come back with a new gimmick, and then boom, there he comes back. You have a title shot, take his rematch clause, and then boom, he comes back as the NXT title holder. So
I mean, it could happen. If there's anyone that's gonna beat him for the championship, though, it definitely has to be McIntyre. I think McIntyre is definitely gonna take it. If it's not at this takeover, it'll definitely be the next takeover, because I can see there being a good rivalry between these guys. And even if the championship goes back and forth, they give Roode a second run with it before he comes up to the main roster. Like, say, have these guys battling over the title up until, I don't know, December, January. Royal Rumble, have Roode debut in a Royal Rumble like they did with AJ Styles. Make him lose at the takeover before the Rumble. Bring Roode in at number 10 or something like that. Bring him in at a decent number.
Yeah.
Don't do a Ty Dillinger and give him the obvious. Have him come in as the glorious number 1 and go almost all the way. Or bring him in at the glorious number 30 and almost have him win, like put him in the last 2. Something like that. Give everyone that little sniff at the dream.
Hope.
Yeah, that little bit of hope and the sniff of the dream.
Yeah. Mm.
But you have him against Styles or something in the Royal Rumble at the end, and bang, there's a rivalry there. Because you've got Styles Nakamura, which everyone's wanted to see after Wrestle Kingdom. Bobby Roode, AJ Styles worked so well in TNA. When they've done them, it could work. I think WWE's avoiding that at the moment, though. I've noticed how they've avoided the former TNA guys wrestling a lot. They've avoided that quite a bit. Okay, so let's get to the bare bones of this. Let's get to the important part, because we're 45 minutes into this one. We're at the end of the match card already. Can you believe it? And we still have some time to fill. So, Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre, championship match. Who wins?
Drew.
So it's
Not
2-1
just because
here.
he's Scottish, but because he's got the spirit. He's got to have the anger of what Rhodes did.
Eden, you've made a stupid point. He's got the spirit. He's Scottish. Of course he's got the spirit, boy.
It's either that or it's got a lot of alcohol in him. I mean, what?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
But see, like you do make a valid point of just because of what I just said there. But the thing is, you've got to remember, by what happened with him losing because he got disqualified, he could use that to his advantage, and then take that and use it against Rhodes, and possibly he'll get Rhodes disqualified. And be like, ha.
I keep thinking you're saying Rhodes, like, and then my head just goes to Cody Rhodes. I'm like, Cody Rhodes is in this thing? What?
I know.
No, I know who you mean. It's Bobby Roode. Yeah, we know who you mean. It's all good on that one. Sorry, I had to say it. But okay, so the Scots are going for the Scot. Both of those guys are going Drew Galloway, McIntyre, whatever. Need to get out of that. And I'm going to keep with an and still Bobby Roode NXT champion. I think that's me sided with every champion throughout this entire pay-per-view.
Yep.
See, you're going with the champions. Like, oh,
Thing is that
I can see you losing.
they've given the championships to the best people at the moment. Like, obviously, they've done what you're meant to do. They give the titles to the best people. So, you know, we've got a good little good little thing going on. So that's it. That's NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 predictions. So
any closing messages?
I'd say
all of us?
what we can do at this point, guys, is we can just talk wrestling for
Right.
10 minutes.
I'm going to say this now because I was going to say it at the start, but I got too carried away. My thoughts and prayers go with the entire Flair family just now.
Yes,
Exactly.
I was going to say we definitely needed to touch on that. Obviously, the news of Ric Flair not being in a good condition at the moment was still in a medically induced coma at the time of recording.
Yeah.
I've not seen any updates recently.
By what I've seen on NXT, the operation was successful,
Yes.
but he's still in critical condition.
Yeah,
so
he's still in his coma. He's still in his coma.
We obviously want to send out as much love and respect to Ric Flair and the
Of
Flair
course.
family for this, because
And Charlotte, because Charlotte won't.
exactly.
Charlotte will be. Charlotte, we will hire. Next time we see Charlotte is if Rick gets back to full health, or we won't see her for a while if the worst happens.
I can completely understand her missing SummerSlam if she's got a match and everything happening for the way things are going. I can understand if she's missing house shows and missing everything else, because it's not a good situation to be in when your family member, let alone your dad, is in a bad way. Obviously, you want to be there more than you want to be in a ring.
Either
but
that
she is very professional as well, and I think he would want her to carry on.
Yeah, either that she stays and then does it for him to give him this fighting spirit, so to speak.
Yeah, like she comes in, hits her matchup, boom, she's gone. That I can understand happening as well. And I just want to say this real quick to any wrestling fan that's sitting there saying, who cares, or anything like that, or, you know, the people that are bad-mouthing Ric Flair just because, you know, he's gone through issues in his life. You've gone through issues in your life, but you're not a 16-time world champion that's given entertainment to millions over the years. You've not had a long career that spanned decades where you've gone around the world and bought entertainment to so many people. So all those people that are sitting there going, all those people that I've been reading on Dirt Sheets comments threads or on Twitter or anything like that are sitting there going, oh, good, hope he dies, lol. You really need to sit there and get a perspective on life, because imagine if someone was doing that about you. Normally we don't go there, But yeah,
Exactly. What if it was one of their family members that was going through this? You know what I mean?
well then we'll
You've
get
got
Ric
to
Flair to
be
tweet the same back
respectful.
to him. You can imagine Ric Flair would actually do that though. That's the thing, because Nate.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Ric Flair would.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. He'd be telling him that they rode God damn voices, words. They rode Space Mountain and loved it. Woo! And so on and so forth. And Ric Flair would totally troll people like that.
Oh
Probably.
yeah.
So real quick before we end, guys, let's just talk what we think of the state of wrestling at the moment. We need to make up for what we missed before. So the state of SmackDown, state of Raw.
SmackDown is kicking Raw's ass every single week. No point in even
Mhm.
questioning it.
Yeah.
SmackDown is the better show by a bloody margin.
SmackDown
Raw
is definitely taking it, isn't it? Like SmackDown's really
Oh,
kicking ass right now. It's crazy.
It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I've loved SmackDown since
I've always-
the brand split, and
Yeah.
it's just given you see people getting opportunities like Jinder Mahal. He lost a match. Like he was literally a jobber
That's it.
guy,
Sorry,
And
I
now-
want to touch on this before
and
we
now
end. Go
he
on.
is WWE World Heavyweight freaking
Exactly.
champion.
I gotta
What
say this
the
real quick.
actual
Before we
fuck?
end the podcast here, I want to say one thing real quick. I thought when the brand split happened, it was just another case of why we don't need it, do we? Because come on, who cares? It's still going to be the same people everywhere all the time. But since the brand
To be
split,
honest-
it's given everyone the good stuff. Like, how many people have thought that you would see, as Connor said, Jinder Mahal as champion, or you know, the bigger players on the main event being people like Naomi and Jinder Mahal and
Here's
all
one.
of-
Who would have thought Mr. TNA would become Mr. WWE?
Exactly. Who'd have thought that AJ Styles would be the face that runs the place? You know, the champ that runs the camp, the phenomenal one, that guy. Who'd have thought that they would have given him that bigger push? Granted, yeah, after his stuff in Japan, they probably would have because he's done such a good job. But look at the way it's going with the other Japanese guys, like the other guys that have come over from Japan, like the club. They've sort of just phased into non-existence almost. Again, they're getting the odd storyline and all that, but nothing really good's happening. SmackDown is definitely taking and I hate to use this phrase, the sports entertainment world by the nuts, squeezing them with a good old squeeze and going, this is what you need to be watching on a weekly basis. Forget Impact, because I've watched Impact from a couple of weeks ago. It's not what it used to be, sadly. Raw.
No.
Raw's got a good main event, but if they keep Brock Lesnar as champion for much longer, I'm just going to sit there and go, yep, no, I'm done. I don't want to know until it's a pay-per-view and until it's Brock Lesnar losing, because that's just going too far right now.
But if you want to
touch
find out
on
our
that.
predictions
Exactly,
of
we will.
that match, you'll
Yeah.
have to watch SummerSlam WWE edition.
We will sit there and sort out the Not Another Wrestling Podcast SummerSlam edition. But I am sitting here hoping that Raw will take note from what's going on with SmackDown and go, you know what? That's what we need to be doing more of. We need that. And can I just say before we end, and we're going to talk on this more before, like during the SummerSlam podcast, but what the hell was WWE thinking with Baron Corbin cashing in on SmackDown and losing?
Oh no, that was stupid. That was. Stupid.
However,
I think-
it's funny.
yeah, it's funny because
funny.
it's just like it deserves them, right?
You know what it is that's making me like we're probably gonna repeat ourselves on this one when it comes to the SummerSlam podcast, but I want to say this real quick. Obviously, Cena, we all know, has lost every year since beating the Nexus, right?
Mm-hmm. This will be his final year.
This will be the final year, exactly.
But spoilers, shush.
Spoilers.
Well, there you go.
Spoilers.
But
Shh.
my thinking behind this, real quick, it's gonna be spoilers, but if people make it
Shush.
this far, you
No,
deserve
spoilers.
it. No,
Spoilers. Shush.
shut up! I
Shush,
will turn
Jay.
your audio down.
No, Jay's spoiling it.
No,
Damn it.
No, I'm
Jay's
not.
doing
I'm not talking
spoilers.
about the match. I'm not talking about the match. All I'm going to say is the only reason why I can think that they've done it. Think about it before. Every cash-in that's failed so far, who's been involved? Every failed
Cena.
cash-in, Cena's been involved. Why would they want to have Cena lose again? By angering him more for with the failed cash-in. That's all I'm seeing it going for. But if you want to hear more on that, guys, you're going to have to listen to the Not Another Wrestling podcast SummerSlam edition, which will be following this one, possibly the next day, like hopefully tomorrow, because this will be going up as soon as we finish recording. Hi, it's the 17th of the 8th, 2017, and it's 8 o'clock at night. That's how late we do these things. No, so yeah, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to follow us on this thing, please do all the good stuffs. If you want to put your opinion towards what we're doing, there's a comment section. Please use them. We love comments.
There's also a Twitter.
We also have Twitter if you want to see how things are going. I'm at that Mr. J, all one word. Connor, you can find him.
I'm at that Totomate. So it's Totomate, just COTIM8. So it's the same with my Twitch and YouTube channel. Yay!
You had to.
Yes, I had to, because screw you, Jay.
It's fine. We'll totally bleep that out as it comes. I mean, what? No. So I was gonna say, if you guys want to catch us on some live gaming, I'm that Mr. J on Twitch. He is the same name as he uses on everything else on Twitch. Eden is under Convict88 on Twitch. If you guys want to, Convict with a K, by the way. If you want to go over and give him a look on that.
Kicking chair for people who don't know what that means. It's a kicking chair, which is a line pointing diagonally up the way at about 45 degrees, and a line pointing down the way at about 45 degrees. That's a K. Yes.
Because apparently every single one of our listeners doesn't know what a K is. Thank you very much for that, Connor.
I know. Damn,
so
totally calling out the audience.
I'll say, on that note of your intelligence being insulted, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to Not Another Wrestling Podcast. I've been Jay. That asshole has been a Connor.
Fuck you guys.
That other one's been the virgin of the podcast, Eden.
And will be the champion.
Oh, he's coming in with them fighting words
another
right
podcast champion.
And if you guys want to catch the SummerSlam, Not Another Wrestling Podcast, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all do that good stuff. Hit that little bell so you know everything happens. And we will bring you some more content as and when we make it. Thank you very much as always, guys. That's us. Done.
Peace.
Bye.